Students, welcome to my channel. Today, as we have already begun this particular chapter, and we have already sufficiently learned about this particular chapter 8, and here you have learned about the social evil, which was actually the part and parcel of the Indian society, and perhaps at the time these social evils, in fact, they considered as one of the best rules and regulations, and they integrated this one in their mind and heart, and I think they were very much happy with that, especially male the man who was actually dominant group of this society, actually very happy with the system that was actually prevailed at the time. But right now we can see that these are the systems are actually outdated, and these are the systems are actually not at all applicable right now, and therefore many of the reformers actually from the 19th century onwards, with the help of the or with the support of the western education, and then people of that time actually brought a new look, and they revived the things very beautifully, and today we can see that there are changes in the society. Yes, we can find some here and there a little bit people who have not understood up to now, and still they try to follow up those things, and make the society some sort of like a inconvenience because of their presence. So let's know today how this widow remarriage in fact actually helped during the 19th century after the arrival of the Britishers. So here during the British time, we understood that most of the widows were seen by these people, and they had a great feeling towards these widows, because in the Indian society or in the Indian rituals, you can find that most of the widows were actually left, and then they were not given the certain amount of freedom and to access in every part of this public properties. So here this particular issue in fact makes like a disturbance for the Britishers, and so the Britishers actually with the support of the Indian reformers, they tried to bring some sort of changes in this area. So that's why they actually what called like a widow remarriage act was actually passed during that time, that is in the year of 1856. The widow remarriage act was actually passed due to the this kind of inconvenience, sorry. So here you can find that some of the reformers, for example, Ishwarchandra Vidyasagar, one of the reformer, in fact he has tried his level best to make the people understand and quoting the scriptures, religious scriptures, because through the religious scriptures most of the Brahmins were actually stating and then making people fool, and then people were actually fooled by their advice and their dominant status. So people were not able to oppose, and people were not able to ask the questions against the scriptures. But today's world is not believing on the scriptures, but today's world is believing on the evidences and proofs and analysis and different studies. Today we can't simply believe blindly. Suppose in the religious books we find that there are certain things that is found. Perhaps there are many examples. I am not going to speak about the religious all these issues and all in this chapter, but you can find that there are many of the incidents in the religious texts, and those things are in fact they are making the people, especially stating by those quotation, making the people fool, and up to now people have not understood. Now in this universe we have got especially in our solar system we have the like 8 planets, and in this 8 planets, some of the planets perhaps up to now the study is going on whether the human existence is possible or not, or in which planet what type of chemicals and heliums or different heat are actually located by the our satellites. At that time when the people were writing the scriptures, when the religious text was written, at the time there was not a single satellite through which the people will come to know about the planets heat and temperature and the mass in the large and small, what are the things existing there, and no satellites were there, and how people came to know that there are many of the planets which is existing in this solar system. Possibly there will be something, but that was the false statement the people actually quoted at that time to make people to believe and to sustain, and the society became so strong. The society gradually actually, or the people who are in that organizations, in fact, made people convinced by force sometimes, and by threatening also. So these are the things became actually strong belief from that time onwards. Otherwise, if you study about the planets, about the universe, up to now the universe is still going on, forming different planets, destroying the different planets, and disappearing, and the world is actually extending day by day, and the planets are moving far away from each other. So that is the things are happening. But according to the scriptures, the 6 days, the creation of the earth has been taken place, and then after that creation is over. So how can you believe that there is a creation is gets over? So it's not possible. Therefore, with the evidences and proofs, we can just bring the issues, and then we can have a debate, and then we can bring the things and all. So blind belief anywhere, anything, is a kind of like a fool, a kind of like foolish behavior. So we need to really check whether this is possible to believe, because today's world, for example, you mere your existence, how much difficult that you have to face to exist yourself, to live yourself, because around you your nature is some kind of like a threat for you every time. So when the nature is a threat, and then the nature is threatening every time, one way or the other, so how we can attribute this particular threat to the God and Allah, or maybe the Bhagwan, all these places? So it's not possible. So look at the composition of the planets, because the different planets, the composition actually matters a lot, and the composition will actually show you that what type of incidents is going to occur. Today, for example, the flood is occurring not because the God is sending plenty of water, and then making the people to drown in the water and to die. If the God has created the world, if the God has created the human being, why God is making people die? Is it not? Many of the people are actually not understood up to now. Many people have not seen, many people have not experienced about this unseen God. So when the people have not seen, when the people have not familiar, then how can God is allowing such kind of incident to happen and the people will die? So it's a big matter. So you don't simply believe, because without the evidences, without the proofs, without the study of the universe, simply believing is a kind of like a believing blindly anything. So science is actually helping us to understand about the universe today. Otherwise, no religious scriptures are giving us the information. So and people may say you with their different logics, and they will say that science is already in the religious texts, religious books. Many of the our religious leaders, for example, speaking about their religious texts, that the earth and the planet, or the solar system, or many other universe matters are actually already written in the text. If this is the text are written, then why the people are still ignored? Why people are still ignored, and why the people have not invented any of the things of that age? So that is the thing we have to understand. So therefore, as the time passes by, as the years are passing by, as the centuries are passing by, you will see that new look, new systems are actually coming up. And that's why we can see that in most of the places, especially when we see the Western culture and a Western education, people, in fact, they tried their level best to find out the different things, they experiment, and many other things they are actually discovering. And today you see most of the European countries are actually advanced in a technology, advanced in a transportation, advanced in a airways, and advanced in defense. Many things we can find right now. but where we are having the more religiosity, more people are actually following up the religious texts and the religious norms and rituals. There you find no scientific things, and people are dying in hunger. People are dying when there is any kind of like a natural calamities is occurring. So this is the difference we can find. So it means how far our belief systems are actually will go, we don't know exactly, but as long as the strong community will be there, they will be always bringing the logic, and will make you fool to some extent to believe things and all like that. So anyway, it is not our matter in fact, but what I would like to say that the different norms and rituals which was actually destroying the life of the people, that type of life and that type of destructions, in fact if we find in the religious text, then that religious text has got no value. The religious text is actually the falsely written, perhaps a fool has been written about that. So we have to understand about the human life. Human life is a very important. Why? Because we should give the value in our human life, because once we born, once we come into this world to see and experience, and we leave our memory in this world, it's very matters a lot, not false belief and a blind belief we have to focus for. Okay, so that is the thing. So therefore some of the act was actually passed during the time, was one of the like input for the like Indian society, and therefore we can find that there were many of the like Indian especially our what called reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and all, and then Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. These are the people in fact came out, and then so much of like they tried, they understood about it, and they worked hard in spite of the prevention, in spite of the hindrance from the society where they were living. Okay, so this is what we have to see. Another thing we have found that the child marriage, in fact if they are very much like aware about the human life, if they were aware about the human life, then why a small girl is given marriage? Why a small girl is given marriage? Because you should know, if you are if you are involved, if you are knowing the religious text very well, then why in the small time the girl is given marriage? Either it is a whatever religion you belong to, either it is a Muslim, either it is a Hindu, either it is Christianity, you must not having, I mean what we have seen, that the religious leaders are in fact making the fool people. The human body when it is getting ready, the religious text is not giving any kind of information. Is there anything about the human this life where you are biologically how you are growing, and in which age you are actually able person? Those things are not given in the religious text. So how a person, a religious leader, is bringing about the like a logic from there and bringing finding the science in the religious text? Science and religious texts are not at all matching. Science is different totally from the religious. Okay, so you don't mingle with the religion with your with our science. So science is the giving you the proof and evidences in front of you, but religious things are not giving you any proofs and evidences. Why? You can't show them. If I ask you where is heaven, which planet this heaven is existing, you will not able to show anything. Okay, where is God existing? You will not able to show where the God is existing. Is it not? Then where the like hell is existing? Where is the hell is existing? Show the evidence. You don't have evidence. So this blind belief and a false belief will make people fool right now. So that's why go to the science and bring the evidences, bring the proofs, and then you show the people, show the world. So that is the thing we have to right now we have to focus for. Otherwise this kind of like a false belief will never going to develop your community, never going to be good in your family, in your locality, because you will be always with that always. Anyway, so that is the thing we found. So child marriage is one of the like things we found in this age, is that people were actually marrying the small girl who is not able to ready anything about our life. A child is just about to about to learn how to play the games. A child about to learn to talk. Then how a child is given marriage? It means whatever the religious texts are given, and basing on the religious texts, people are actually stating at that time were false, totally wrong. There is nothing else, true things are written in this. It is only the benefiting, especially the men were dominating. Therefore, these people were actually giving the false this statement from the religious text, and then they were actually enjoying. Okay, this is only the one part which I can say that men part were actually only enjoying on these areas, taking the advantage of that, and destroying the human life, especially the girls were actually destroying. So therefore, we have to be very careful and understand the human being's life and a human psychology and a human biology. Okay, so that's why we have to take in care. So here we can find that some of the laws were actually passed, and then before in the year of like 1891, when the law was passed, there the girl age is 12 years. When the girl is reaching at the age of 12, then you can have your marriage and all such kind of like a law was passed. But have you understood the age of 12 a girl is getting married, then what will be happen the condition of the girl? A girl who is a age of 12 right now, you know, many of you are at the age of 12. This is the time for the marriage. So give me the logic. Give me logic. If the age of 12 is a time for marriage, then what will happen to the girl's whole body, whole structure? So have to think of. All right. So today, for example, even the age of 18 or so is not actually adjustable for the getting married. So sometimes the age should go like 20, 22, 21, like that. This age should go. Then the girl is fully ready for the marriage, and can be bore the child. That is the thing is there. Otherwise, not possible. So therefore, before you comment, before you go for the any religious logic that you will be passing the comment on many of us, before that you must please study about this human beings, this biological system. Biological system study. That's why science is most of the time is helpful, not the religious text. Okay. Okay. Then this is the Child Marriage Restraint Act was also passed, and then after this is 12 years. Then again, some years after that, they have took this particular age was up to the age of 14, and a 14 age. If the girl is reaching at the age of 14, then the marriage or the marriage will be arranged. So, what is the system actually? This much people were unaware. This much. And so much like a feeling proud that religious has got the science. Religious has got the science. Everything is in the religious book. Science is in the religious book. If the science could have been in the religious book, most of our people could have become the scientists right now, and so many inventions could have been made. So I think you can see that they are only fooling only people. They are only fooling, but they are not doing anything. A large group of people sitting and then listening to a person who is fooling the people. So very ridiculous. And people are also fool. Because why they are fool? Because they are not educated. They are not educated. Taking the degree and education is far more difference. Education is different than your having the degree. Education is not the having the degree. Education is very far away difference. Understood? So that's why when you acquire the knowledge, when you learn something, then you must know what is needed for now for us to understand. So don't simply score the marks, and don't simply busy with getting this marks and then to have the degree only. But educate the whole sum, the total set of this education you need to acquire. broad knowledge is very important. Okay, so these are the things you keep in mind. Okay, so these are the few things you keep in mind, as I have already mentioned. So these are the widow remarriage, child marriage, all these people, how they have actually took the advantage of that time, many of the people. So take care of that, and then we will focus on the education of women and women reforms. Okay, in my next class we will talk about.